Okay, so let's get into why I think people are being like just unreasonable when it comes to this recast T'Challa thing. I don't think recasting T'Challa or our T'Challa is necessary at this point, especially after the end credit scene. I just think people are doing way too much. Okay, so check out this article real quick. Unhappy Marvel fans reject Black Panther 2 plot and make recast T'Challa trend on opening weekend. I'm gonna skip down and get to the point. So this has led to resistance from supporters of the recast T'Challa movement as the topic has trended on Twitter through November 12th over the opening weekend, implying some fans are not happy with how Wakanda Forever's plot handled T'Challa's death. Okay, so one Twitter user here questioned the logic behind T'Challa's death, noting the lack of proper explanation for how a man with so many superpowers died. And to me, I'm just like, this sentence is not making no sense to me, because I'm like, what do you mean by so many superpowers? You know, like he just got increased speed and strength. Like what do you, he ain't no Wolverine. But somebody said, explain to me why a nigga with super strength, speed, durability, sense, and resistance to disease, born in the most technological advanced nation, or technologically advanced nation in the world, dies. The movie didn't explain it. And then someone else suggested that Marvel Studios may be financially benefiting from Chadwick Boseman's passing. They over here saying the MCU should not use the passing of Chadwick Boseman as a plot device. A good marketing tactic is to relate to our emotions. The MCU is benefiting financially from our emotions because for some of us, going to see the movie is also an opportunity to grieve. The user included an explanation of their take on the recast T'Challa movement, calling for the studio not to use Boseman's death as a plot device in their fictional storytelling. And it's just like, oh my God, y'all are so, I'm not even gonna read the rest of this shit. Y'all are so annoying. Now, keep in mind, before we even talk about this, like, this movie had, what they said? I think I saw a headline that said that Black Panther Wakanda Forever was the highest grossing release in November ever, like in history ever. So like this movie was wildly successful, right? But I just think there were so many annoying people that I'm going to just talk about right now. First of all, to those of you who are pissed that we have a female Black Panther, y'all gonna have to just sit y'all ass down. Like you gonna have to shut the hell up. Like that's the first thing. That's the first thing. Shuri did what she had to do. She was a great Black Panther, and that was it. Second of all, I don't what do you mean? Marvel is a money-making machine. It's Disney. Yes, of course. Yes, we're going to use your emotions to sell tickets. Like, what are you talking about? You use emotions to sell tickets even when there is not a death in somebody's cast. Emotions sell tickets, period. What do you mean? Oh, they're using emotions to sell tickets. Yes, that's what we do. But I think if you're going to do it, this was a way to do it. Respectfully, we saw the characters on screen grieving to the point where it felt like the actors themselves was grieving, you know, like on screen. Like they did what they had to do. Chadwick is so iconic in this role that I think it would be so ridiculous to be like recasting T'Challa and everybody acting like we didn't just see what happened with Chadwick. He just made such an impact that I think I really stand by. I really am happy that Marvel said we are not, it doesn't matter what y'all talking about, we are not recasting this specific T'Challa. Now, I mean, obviously there's spoilers in this. I'm hoping that you would know that before clicking on this damn video. But yeah, spoilers ahead for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, girl. Now that we have the fucking end credit scene where T'Challa's son, who's literally named T'Challa, is in the picture now, why are y'all so pressed and mad? Literally, Shuri could run around as a fucking Black Panther, run around until young T'Challa gets to an age where he can take over the goddamn kingdom too, shit. And the Black Panther mantle, and that's it. Like, what's the problem? I just don't understand how they can say like, oh, well, you need to respect Chadwick Boseman's contribution to this thing. You need to respect him and blah, 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 blah. But then turn around and say, oh, no, bitch, just recast his ass. Like, how does that... I just don't get how that makes any fucking sense to me. Like, I just don't get it. But I think that when you have somebody who was just so iconic like that, it will be... can you imagine being the actor trying to fucking fill those kind of shoes? It's like, bitch, what are you talking about? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Why can't y'all let this character rest? Why can't y'all let this character just rest? Like, you really don't think it would feel cheap to just swap somebody out? And can you imagine if they just swap somebody out, you know, for another guy who kind of looks like Chadwick, you know? And then instead of this new movie being one of mourning and acceptance and dealing with the emotions of it all and processing it, of course, girl, we trying to make money. What are you talking about? Yes, but while we're doing that, we're dealing with these emotions in a sensible way, like in a delicate way. That's what I felt when I watched the fucking movie. So imagine if they just swapped him out, everybody just pretend like we don't notice the fucking difference, and we just made another black. It just would feel so uninspired. It would feel so uninspired. And so I don't know. I just think that this, obviously the movie is getting more love than hate. So we're happy about that. We love that. But at the same time, I feel like there's a certain segment or certain kinds of people where you can't even pay too much attention to their ass, even though I'm making a whole video about their ass. But you know what I mean? Like, as the showrunners or as the film runners, whatever, you can't pay too much attention to those kinds of people because you can't win for losing with them hoes. Like, period. Can you imagine how up in arms these people would be if, like, the moment after, you know, Chadwick's unfortunate passing, you know, Marvel Recast, they would be dragging that shit. They would dragging that shit. I think and then I also saw some tweets where it's just like, okay, right here. This one tweet said, MCU said, even in our dreams, even in our fantasies, black men can't change our narratives. We can't prevail. We can't be immortalized. We're a tribute, a mere footnote, irrelevant. Wakanda forever. So they said hashtag Wakanda forever, hashtag recast T'Challa. So I have no idea how we're not recasting T'Challa. We're respecting Chadwick's contribution to this. We're respecting Chadwick's legacy by making sure that the character is left untouched. Like, I don't understand how them doing that is them taking a shit on black people. Like, girl, we could talk about we could talk about issues when it comes to representation, when it comes to Marvel and race issues and all that shit. But I just don't see. I see what Marvel did as a way to respect and put some reverence on what Chadwick contributed. So I mean, just because, and it's just like, y'all can't even get happy for a black woman in the role of the Black Panther. Y'all just overlooking all of the cool shit that happened, all the cool ways that they paid tribute to Chadwick, all of the cool and interesting ways that they had to, you know, work with the plot to get the story to work in such a beautiful way that it did. Like, y'all, I just think that it's just too much. Yeah, they don't know what they want. I don't know why this kind of reminds me of the way that the Jane Foster Thor was treated when she came. You know what I mean? It obviously is far away from being the same exact situation we're talking about with Chadwick, but like the way that people acted like Jane Foster Thor was going to delete the regular Thor, or like Jane Foster swinging the fucking hammer around was going to make it so that y'all's normal Thor, the Chris Hemsworth Thor, has never existed before. Like, goddamn, let her swing the fucking hammer around. She in Valhalla now anyway. That's what I don't understand. Like, Shuri is going to hold the Black Panther mantle for as long as she want to hold it, for as long as they think it's sensible to hold it, and then y'all gonna get another T'Challa. Like, and it's gonna be his son, which I thought was so cool. I don't know, child. Like, y'all do too much. I literally saw another response, or another person complaining, talking about, it's so insulting to have the Black Panther die 2.5 times or whatever. It's like, what y'all want them to do? Because they ain't got no magic powers or nothing, like in real life. What you want the showrunners to do? What you want the filmmakers to do? You know, I don't think people are focused enough on the actual story for me, storytelling for me. You're focus on the storytelling, focus on what the character's doing and how they moving through their grief and shit. Like, what is the issue, girl? I don't want them to recast Chadwick's T'Challa. I don't want it. Let the character, leave it alone. Leave the character alone. Chadwick did what he had to do completely. Shuri's the new Black Panther now. Y'all can be mad about it. And on top of that, y'all getting another T'Challa. It'll be okay. Y'all be fine. So anyway, let me know what y'all think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Thank you so much for watching. Love you so much. And I'll check y'all out later. Peace.